Three scriptures to share with you today. These scriptures are foundational. Foundational means they are the rock base on which our faith is based. First one is from Exodus, the book of Exodus, chapter 3. Now, according to the book of Genesis, the family of God established through Abraham, continued through Isaac, continued through Jacob, continued through Joseph. They migrated to the land of Egypt due to a famine. And in the land of Egypt, they came to be enslaved, in bondage to the house of Pharaoh. Now Moses, whose mother was a Hebrew, placed him in the waters at his birth, and he was adopted by the house of Pharaoh and raised as a prince of Egypt. But he was exiled from Egypt, and he ended up here in the wilderness. And that's where our reading starts, with Exodus chapter 3. Now Moses, this is verse 1, Moses was keeping the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led his flock to the west side of the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and lo, that bush was burning, but it wasn't consumed. It was glowing, but not burning. And Moses said, I will turn aside to see this great sight, why the bush is not burning. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called to him from that bush, Moses, Moses, and he said, Here I am. And then he said, Do not come near, put off your shoes from off your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. He said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God. And the Lord said, I have seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt and heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land to a land, a good and broad land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And now, behold, the cry of the people of Israel has come to me, and I have seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppress them. Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring forth my people, the sons of Israel, out of Egypt. Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the sons of Israel out of Egypt? And God said, I will be with you, and this will be the sign for you that I've sent you. When you have brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God on this mountain. And Moses said to God, If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? And God said to Moses, I am is who I am. And he said, Say this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. Another foundational reading, a reading that is foundational to our faith, is from Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 6. Just go through Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, chapter 6, and I'm going to start with verse 4. Now, this reading, Deuteronomy is the second law. It's a second book of the law. There was an ancient book found by Hilkiah, the father of Jeremiah, in the temple when the temple was being renovated. And Hilkiah shaped this book and brought it to us, the second law. And this is what we have starting with verse 4 of chapter 6. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be upon your heart. And you shall teach them diligently to your children, and you shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. You shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and as a sign between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. And then we go centuries later, going to go to John, going to go to the Gospel according to John chapter 11. And I'm going to start with verse 21. This is when Lazarus had died, a good friend of Jesus had died, and Jesus has come to see the tomb where Lazarus is lying, and he's with the sister of Lazarus. Her name was Martha. I'll start with verse 21. Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Even now I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said, I know he will arise at the resurrection at the last day. And Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. Whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? And she said to him, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is coming into this world. And this is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Now today is very simple. It's all about how you look at it. Whatever it is, the good, the bad, whatever it is, how do you see it? How do you see it? How do you look at it? That's the core of our message. So I brought you a couple of little things here about how we look at things. The first thing is a mirror, and the second thing is a crystal ball. Okay. People say when they look and they're thinking about the future, well, they say, I don't have a crystal ball. Well, I do have a crystal ball. It's right here in my hand. And you can look at it all you want, and it's not going to tell you the future. But what it does do, and I'm going to show you this, it reflects everything in this room. All the windows, all the people, I can see there you are reflected in this. Now, mirror. Okay. Look in a mirror and you see yourself. How are you seeing? Do you know when you look in the mirror and you see yourself, That is the same you looking back that first looked in a mirror when you were a little child. This has changed, but you are still you. The same creature God created and put upon this earth. How are you looking at yourself? How are you looking at what's going on in the world? And how are you looking at the Lord your God? Now, I want you to see, you can see the reflection there. Now, this will not tell you the future. Why is that? Because the future is not decided yet. It can go this way or that way. That's in the hands of God. It's not for us to see. But it is a beautiful reflection of the light and the love and the life that is all around us. You look at it and you can see the reflection, and that is what these scriptures are about. Can you see the light, the love, and the life that is all around us? First, I want you to look in the mirror. Do you see you? There you go. Okay. There you are. That is you. And when you look at this, you got to look at it kind of carefully. But we're all there reflected in the light. You can see, you can see little bits and pieces. And there we are. You can see all that is happening. How are you looking at it? How do you see it? Upside down, backwards, okay? The way we see stuff is not always the way things are, is it? We have to adjust the way we see. We have to adjust the attitude, the faith that guides us in how we look at everything. And that is the whole key to these scriptures today. And so, we start with the book of Exodus. We start in a time of tremendous trouble. Moses, and you can read the story, I highly recommend. If you want to read the Bible, read the book of Genesis into the book of Exodus. Those two books, very clear and very easy to read, to show you the story, the narrative of how God reached into the lives of common people. Moses was a prince of Egypt, raised in the very house of Pharaoh, though he was a Hebrew by blood. Moses was exiled from Egypt, thrown out into the wilderness. And it was in the wilderness that he went from being a prince of Egypt to being a common shepherd, and as a common shepherd, he was keeping the flocks of Jethro. And he saw this light. He saw this light. And when he saw it, it was like a bush. It was shining, but it wasn't burning. What was going on there? He stopped and he looked at it. And when God saw that he turned aside to look, God spoke to him from that glow, from that light. He said, "Moses, Moses." And Moses said, "Here I am. Here I am." Hold those words right in your heart, because you might be in trouble, you might be sick, you might be facing some kind of hardship or some kind of trouble. When it happens, Lord, here I am. Here I am. And God said to him, look, I have seen the trouble your people are in, and I'm going to send you to them. I'm going to send you to them to lead them into freedom. And Moses said to the Lord, who am I? Who am I to go to Egypt and do that? We all have a calling of God if we can see the light which is the love and life of God in all that is around us. There is a calling in our life. Moses said, who am I? Who are you? Who are you? What are you? You are a child of God. You are the creature of God. God put you here now in all this. God put you right where you are. And so Moses says again, well, if I go to Egypt and I say, the God of your fathers sent me to you to lead you forth into freedom. And they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? And God said, I am is who I am. And those words are the very foundation of human consciousness. That is what makes us different and unique, because we have the ability to identify with the name of God. The name of God is I am. I exist. Everything came from God. All that exists came from God. And you are. You are. You can just say that, I am. I am. I am here. I am now. I am facing this, whatever it is. And I am a child of God, because God put me here now. And there are no exceptions. We are all the children of God. Now, even though we are the children of God, we like to divide ourselves up from one another. And that is the core of the teaching in Deuteronomy, because we are dividers. When Hilkiah found the book, the kingdom was a mess. It was probably 400 years after the words of Exodus, and everything was fallen apart. And the kingdom had split. They had a king in the north, and the north called itself Israel, and the south called itself Judea. And they had a division, and that division was all about, where do we worship God? Because the Judeans had a temple in Jerusalem, and they believed that that was the place where God was, and that was the place where we should worship God. So also we call this place the house of God, to come into God's house to worship God. Those in Israel, they worshiped God on the hilltops that were nearby. They believed that God does not dwell in a house built by human hands. For God is the creator of all that is, and therefore we can worship God wherever we are. Two truths opposite one another. And so they got divided. And you know what happened when they got divided? They divided the division, and they divided and divided and divided and divided. And so we are today, all divided, however you want to see the division. It's not about seeing the division, though. It's about seeing the unity, because it's only one God. And so we find these words in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. The Lord God is one. Though we are divided, God is not. God is a unity, and we are all the children of God. And so we may see others, and we might not like what we see. I don't like him. I don't like her. But they are children of God. And you see, it's all in how you see it. Can you see the light? Can you see the love? Can you see the life that God has given us? And if you can see it, then you see the blessings and you can reach out with love. How do you look at it? Now, on perception and vision, John chapter 11. Jesus got word that his best friend Lazarus was sick. And he said to his disciples, this sickness is not about death. It's about the glory of God. It's about the light, the life, and the love of God. So we also have sickness, right? We have illness, we have tragedy, we have tribulation, we have all this stuff we can get upset about. How are you seeing it? How does it appear to you? See, you have the option, if you want to, you can see the darkness and just say, it's just all messed up and everything's just terrible. You can see it that way if you choose to. Or you can see it the way Jesus teaches us. It's not about death. It's not about destruction. It's not about what is wrong. It's about the glory of God, the light, the love, and the life of God. And so Jesus has this conversation with Martha. She says, if you'd been here, my brother would not have died. Even now I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. And Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. And she said, I know, but in the last day. And Jesus said to her, I am. What is the name of God? I am. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Do you? You got to believe that. Yes. Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is coming into the world. And so that faith is what gives us the vision to see the light, to see the love, to see the life, to see the meaning and the value that it's all about. And by seeing it, to believe it, and by believing it, we can see that death is nothing but a way that we cross from this world to the next. Because we are now, in this moment, and friends, in God, nothing that is will ever not be. Eternity is right here, right now. When I come into this room, when it's empty, you should try this sometime. I hear the echoes. I hear the echoes of all the people who've ever worshiped God in this place. And many of you remember many of them from many years in the past, and they are living still. They are not that far from us. We're here. I am. They are just a little bit over here. But they are. And you got to believe that. You got to believe in the words of salvation that we are and we will be living in the presence of God, in that light, in that love, the life. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. He said, you are the light of the world. So take those words of assurance and believe them, and God will guide you through anything. Amen. And